My dogs. I have two of them, Sky and Echo. And whenever I see them, my heart just melts. But one day, my heart almost melted completely when Sky, he was accidentally poisoned. And when I found out, I didn't know what to do. My whole world just fell apart. I felt so powerless. But luckily, he was alright after a few days. But this incident just wouldn't leave my mind. It just made me wonder, made me question, how vulnerable are animals really to harm when no one's watching them, especially online, considering 6 billion people have access to the internet. Now, I don't think we realize how reliant animals really are on us to simply exist. Like how Sky was so reliant on us for his own safety, yet that very thing was hindered. But for a lot of other animals, that very thing is intentionally hindered and is often replaced with a greedy pursuit. Pursuit of money, entertainment, attention, the list goes on. And that greedy pursuit, it often starts on the most accessible things, like social media. So our belief is that I rule the world, I would make it a place where humans and animals can peacefully coexist. Because all those loving creatures you love and adore are likely the ones receiving the most harm on a platform you likely use on a daily basis. And to put it simply, animals are everywhere online. I mean, you've probably scrolled past one today without even realizing it, whether it was a video of a dog reacting dramatically or one just being rescued. You probably just looked at it, liked it, and scrolled away. And when we look at animals online, we usually just see them through our eyes as these cute creatures or however you want to view them. But when we look at them, we often see them as these objects for our own satisfaction without even realizing it. We ignore their discomforts because they can't talk to us. They can't just ask us to sit down and have a chat about their feelings. And frankly, we become very good at ignoring anyone who can't voice their problems. But why don't we ever stop to think? Just to think. What was it that this animal had to go through to even make this video possible? A lot of the time, animals are reduced to their reactions. Their fears are turned into content that may seem funny or even harmless to us. And I feel like if we continue to normalize this behavior, we continue to teach ourselves that this type of behavior is also harmless, that we can't do anything to solve it, prevent it. And with the rapid spread of social media, also means the rapid spread of misuse of animals on social media. And that's why I believe with the power we have to make such drastic changes in the world, also means we have a responsibility to make it a place where everyone can peacefully coexist. Now, online you may have seen many videos surrounding dancing animals like this one. But when you look at it to the naked eye, it may seem perfectly fine. But looking into it becomes apparent that even something like this can cause major issues. On the other hand, with there being so much misinformation being spread on animals these days, especially with the prevalence of AI in recent years, fostering major issues for animals is so much easier now. So, what exactly are those issues? Well, researchers in the University of Bologna found that when the cranial cruciate ligament, a critical band of tissue in the dog's knee, is battered with things such as chronic disease, overexertion, applied force, the ligament can become compromised and can begin to deform due to strain. And because of this strain, it leads to the destabilization of surrounding structures in the dog's body. And this very stretch to the joint is so much detrimental and requires greater recovery length than those with traumatic injuries. And that variability of stress is actually a greater chance to those traumatic injuries happening. Now, to put this into perspective, this type of injury to a dog's knee is similar to one of an ACL injury in a human's knee. And that type of injury could put an athlete out of action for up to a year. Now, putting that all into perspective, can't you see how easy it is for an animal to be affected by something so little? Now, I know I've been criticizing social media a lot, but I don't think we necessarily have to frame it as a bad thing. You have to remember, social media is a powerful tool. Anyone can post anything that can be seen from millions of places around the world, which is exactly why I believe the solution to a peaceful coexistence is not to demonize social media, to actually use it as a tool to expose all the harm that is so normalized against animals. We can actually use social media to force people to think, raise awareness, or even take action themselves against the harm that is so normalized against animals on social media. And the thing is, since social media is so easily accessible and so global, anyone can do this. You, your parents, your friends, anyone. And the action you take doesn't even have to be that big. It can be as small as just commenting on a post when something doesn't feel right about the animal, or even just sharing a post that spreads awareness on the harm social media causes to animals. The thing is, the solution to this type of issue isn't going to be large and instant. In fact, with the actions above, it may seem insignificant at first, but with repetition, we can begin to normalize the protection of animals on social media everywhere. So if I ruled the world, I wouldn't try to change everything at once. I wouldn't try to find the perfect solution, because there never will be one. But instead, I want us to slow down and find the small things that are causing the problem, and do the small things that will help us lead us into a peaceful coexistence with animals. And if there's one thing I want you to remember from this talk, is the words of Stephen Irwin. We don't own the planet Earth, we belong to it. And that's why we must share with our wildlife. Thank you.